breaking news.
A week later, ring. Hello, you have a collect call from Account Furscher. Bay! Coma yelled. Counts laughed through static. You got me wagging my tail hearing your voice. You better wag when you get out, she shot back. Counts was serving 3 years for a gun charge. Coma's young lover, tall, muscular, fresh off chasing a boxing championship before the big clash flipped everything. When Digits died, he stepped in, helped Coma, then got locked up after the pigs snatched him in a sting. After 4 days of torture at the farm, he was moved to Underworld County. Now he was counting down to freedom. You have 1 minute remaining. Every time she say that, I be ready to dig her a hole, Coma complained. Oh, tell Paid happy birthday if I can't call. Will do. Dog bite. Coma hung up, feeling empty, then called Paid. You, Paid answered. Everything good? Coma asked. Yeah, how account? He good. Can't wait till he off the leash. Paid chuckled. Same. She added, Paid, be careful. People need you out here. Dog bite. Dog bite? Since Paid got back, his phone wouldn't stop ringing. Profit breaking everything down. I threw $20K on the street. We gon' see who fetch it? Why $20K? Paid asked. That's just enough to make somebody flip. Then we see what they really know. Paid agreed. This wasn't about flexing anymore. This was survival. Then Paid's phone buzzed. Yeah. Meet me at the spot. Come alone. Click. Tax, drop me at my car. That time? Tax asked. Paid nodded. They both knew.
Paid slid into his rental and headed straight for the docks, moving careful, knowing he might be a target. Inside the warehouse, Sky High, Red, and Lucky were already posted. Their faces said everything. This wasn't no friendly meet-up. Have a seat, Sky High said. Paid sat. Red leaned forward. You already know the problem. One question, why didn't you get rid of the body? The question hit Paid hard. He almost lost his breath. Hello? Red snapped. Paid couldn't tell them Points did it. That could get his whole bloodline erased. Because Points was not Dog Nation yet, on top of his last incident that was swept under the rug. He had to stand on it. He looked each man in the eye. Each one of y'all know me like a son, Paid said. If you come for one dog, you come for all of us. A statement was made. Lucky barked. Enough statements been made. They have. Paid nodded. Sky High's eyes narrowed. Paid, this ain't your scent. It don't smell like you. Paid gripped the chair. Sky High was reading his soul. What happened, Paid? He pressed. Paid breathed deep. Nobody disrespects Dog Nation while I'm in it. Red nodded slowly. But the pig's been sniffing. They'll start throwing cheese around soon. I know, Paid muttered. Red stood. Then let's find out who really did it. Agreed? Sky High and Lucky answered together. Agreed. Red looked at Paid. Paid, Ferris agreed. Meeting adjourned. Paid left the meeting with a weight on his back that not even the strongest hellhound could carry. Oxygen felt thin. His thoughts were moving 1,000,000 miles per hour. That was the first time he had ever lied to the council, and it was eating him alive. He made a promise to score, to always watch over Points, and now that promise felt heavier than ever. 4 days later at the farm. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Detective Oink greeted the room of officers. Good morning, they answered in unison. You've been called here because a war might be brewing in the underworld, Oink announced, pacing slowly. There's been an attempt on a Dog Nation top member. The scene left the jester. Presley Jokesmith Jr., a young officer corrected. Yes, him, dead. And my snout tells me it ties back to the bar shooting that same night. What was it? The Yo-Show Sports Bar, the officer corrected again. That's the one. Oink's eyes lit up. We've pressed the rats, but no squeaks yet, another officer added. As the officers left, a blonde woman with olive eyes approached and extended a hand. Squeals, Jenny Squeals, at your service. Oink kissed her hand. Well, tried to. She pulled back. He grinned, loving a chase. I see you got a solid plan to close this case, she said, fishing. One of my easiest tricks yet, he beamed. Oh yeah, what's that? Stir up the pot. Then eat what floats to the top, Oink said, laughing and snorting. Jenny smiled thinly, already scheming her way up the ladder. Meanwhile, in the underworld, happy birthday! Everyone screamed as Pade blew out the candles on his dog-shaped cake. The celebration was tight-knit. The council had ordered that only trusted dogs attend, no outsiders, not even allies. The attempt on Pade's life had tightened the circles. "Faye, I got something to show you," Pricey whispered, grabbing his hand. Pade followed her downstairs, curious, only to stop cold when he saw the dark green Venom vet parked outside, wrapped in a red bow. His jaw dropped as Pricey jumped into his arms, smothering him in kisses. "Don't just stare at it," she grinned, pulling out the keys and shaking them in his face. He kissed her again, then approached the car, admiring the peanut butter interior. "How you get the bones for this?" Pade asked. "We've been burying bones for a minute. The jewelry store's booming. We had to dig some up just to make room," she said. Looking around, Pade saw how many dogs were wearing custom pieces. The business was clearly booming.
Bottles popped and the night turned underworld black. As the crowd left, Pricey stopped Pade at the back door. "We gotta handle that tonight," he said, walking off. Her eyes glowed a little. "I think you should get in there." Pade ignored it and pushed through the crowd until he found Points. "You. What's up? I need you. Bet." He led Points to the last room. Profit, Fee, Casino, and Tax were already waiting with glowing eyes. "Bark," Points said, realizing something was wrong. "Points, you put us all in a sticky situation," Pade said. "What about the pigs?" Points asked. "This ain't about the pigs, pup. You gotta get birth tonight." "Tonight? My processing ain't done." "Can't wait." Points staggered. Everything he'd been taught said this was wrong. "Heal," he whispered. Profit, Casino, and Fee stripped down, preparing. "This ain't how you birth a dog. Not early," Points yelled. "Why?" "Everything will be explained after your healing. Right now, this the best choice." Click. Points froze. Tax's handgun was aimed at his chest. "Either get birth or die right now," Tax said, voice shaking. Points looked around. Everyone looked away. "Okay." He dropped his head. He took off his shirt. Tax kept the gun trained. This was real. "Get on the wall. Raise your right hand," Pate said. Points repeated the oath. "I, Patrick Nails, Jr., take the Dog Nation, sniffing mad money, good or bad. And I understand breaking a cardinal sin means death or exile." Pade took the stopwatch from Casino. Everyone got in position. The door cracked. "They in here," Pricey said, pushing Comma inside and locking the door. The two girls stared at Points with disgust. It hit deep. Pricey snatched the stopwatch from Pade. "Heal, Casino. I'll get in there," Pade said. Casino stepped aside. The room began the count.